This is take two, so hopefully this goes better. Welcome back to Clubhouse Chronicles. It's your host, Twitt, and we don't have a guest today. So I'm not going to go into my big intro, my typical spiel, if you will. Today, I'm doing this about 2 weeks early, but I did want to spend some time talking about this topic. But on June 22nd, it is going to be Broken Record Music Club's 3rd anniversary. We made it 3 years. Don't ask me how we did it, but we stuck it out and we're here. But today, I just kind of wanted to reflect on my journey so far. I think being a part of this scene is really important. And the more that I can share about my experience, hopefully it can help someone who has similar aspirations or wants to take a leap and try something new, because that's absolutely what Broken Record Music Club was for me at the start. So I'm not going to spend too much time talking about how I started Broken Record Music Club, because I feel like I've done that enough. And if you really want to learn more, you can check out the episode called What the Hell is Even a Twit? That kind of tells you my backstory about who I am. And if you want more information about the label in general, you can check out our Label Roundtable episode with Julie Sherry from Pretzel Records, which was an awesome episode. And there's a lot of good information there about independent record labels in general, music industry. But I kind of want to tell you about my journey from like the inception of my label. There's been a lot of moving parts, and I couldn't tell you if this is typical of a record label, because I think each record label is kind of unique in its own way. Like, if you think of Sub Pop started as a zine in Seattle, and they were just covering bands and stuff, and then they ended up turning into a label and working with some of the most legendary bands ever. For me, it was just something that I wanted to try. So coming in with absolutely no knowledge, I don't think I really got the gravity of everything in the music industry until after my first year, which is a crazy amount of time to pass before you realize, hey man, there's a lot more stuff here. But when I first started, I was just trying to find artists to work with. I didn't quite know where to start. With my background being athletics, I didn't have a ton of music connections. And the first artists that I ended up working with, I think I found on underground Instagram pages for artists that like got highlighted. And I found a couple of rappers from around the country that I particularly liked. I wanted to release their music. I wanted to help them put out cool projects. So that's what I set out to do. So I just kind of jumped in. That first year was a lot of like really basic learning. Like I was joining every session that I could on social media, TikTok workshops, Instagram workshops. I joined one time, I joined this group seminar on touring just because I wanted to learn more about touring. And it was a women's only thing. And I was in there. I joined in. Now I didn't know it was women's only, so cut me some slack here, but that's where I was. I was just trying to soak up as much knowledge as I could in whatever capacity I could. So I was talking to different artists. I was doing all these like workshops and stuff, just trying my best to learn. I was going to a library and reading books on like marketing, on guerrilla marketing strategies and stuff like that. This is when I was like still in Canada, so I wasn't even back home yet in Illinois. I was just kind of doing my thing. And in that first year, like I said, it was a lot of learning, and we had a really high turnover rate on artists. I think we initially signed a rapper from Minnesota. We signed a rapper from Texas, and then we signed like a Midwest emo band from Maryland. And within like the first 3 months, I think, of working with the Midwest emo band, they all broke up, and we didn't even put any music out. For a while, it was just me and our rapper from Texas. And this rapper from Texas was pretty much our only artist for a while. We were doing everything we can. We put out a cool project. It did pretty well. We got a significant amount of streams, which was pretty crazy to see so early. In his first year, we did over 190,000 streams, and that was really, really cool. He stuck it out for a while, and then once I moved back home to Illinois, that was when it kind of like really changed for me, when I put all my time towards the label and the music. With that, I began to figure out, like I said, there's a whole lot more of this than what I had initially thought. So I moved home and I found a bunch of artists that I really liked. I really enjoyed their music. And that's kind of where everything kicked into like second gear for me. Like I took it so seriously, and again, continuing my quest for knowledge, still sitting in on meetings, but now I'm like, it's beyond like the little free meetings that you do. I'm actually like investing my own money to sit in like a seminar on marketing, or I'm joining a group to get mentored by XYZ. And it wasn't long after that my sister sent me Jenny Scarra's music, and that's really when things started to change, because me and Jenny were on a different wavelength. Which, you're hearing this episode after Jenny's 2-year anniversary with the label, which is a accomplishment in itself. The second year of Broken Record Music Club was also plagued with a lot of turnover. We as many cool artists as we found, they were just as quick to leave. It wasn't anything bad, It wasn't like, oh, he's doing something wrong or they're doing something wrong. We had a rapper from Texas. He left because he couldn't do music for a bit. We had another band that creative differences, you could say, and then they ended up breaking up shortly after. We had a country artist that we went our separate ways because of commitment issues, but Jenny stayed. Jenny stuck it out. At the start of this year, I had one artist. I'm very grateful that Jenny has trusted me to help her with her music and help her get into a position to continue to grow as an artist. It has been an unbelievable journey this second year, even though we took a step back and we didn't have a whole lot of artists on our roster. We still got to do so much cool shit, man. Like, if you would have told me 2 years ago I would have been touring, I would have told you you're crazy. We went out east. We went to New York. We went to St. Louis and Kansas City. We've gone to Wisconsin. We put out a really successful EP with some of the most successful songs that Jenny has ever had. This year, we signed new talent. We signed a bunch of really amazing artists that are super passionate about this and have the same goals, and we're really aligned in how we want to go about doing things. And so I'm super excited for the releases. I'm super excited that we first brought in Kenny Gemini out in Texas. He came back, and we put out some of the most successful records that he's ever seen too. Hooligan and This One's For You. Both of them came out in this past year, and they are consistently Kenny's best performing songs still. We added Tina Bridge to our roster from our R&B and soul artist down in Florida. She's brand spanking new to the music industry when we started, and sure enough, now we're gearing up for some sort of project that I'm not going to talk about. She's been in the studio and working her ass off to make some really awesome music. Motus, our first signing since Tina, which it had been a while, but Motus is in the studio working on a project that's set to release at an undisclosed time. And then there's Monarch, our latest edition, and they are coming in really strong with what I think could be one of the biggest releases of the year for Central Illinois music. And I truly mean that in an unbiased way. I would have told you that before they even signed with us, that I was suspecting this, but to be working with them now and to see the work that they're putting in, like, something to really be excited about. We're finally in a place where, as a label, we're doing what I wanted to do for a really long time, which was put out a lot of really, really good music. And the rest of the year, I mean, we have a bunch of releases coming out starting the end of this month. I feel like we're really coming into ourselves as a label. It's all coming together. All the pieces are coming together like the fucking Infinity Stones, and Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet. We got all the bands and the artists. We got Bridget Lands rocking the booking for us. She's already hitting the email trail, booking out some shows, so that's exciting. We got more stuff coming in 2025. Like, this is like a weird anniversary because it's the middle of the year, but we got more things coming in 2025 that I'm excited, that I haven't announced, and we're still plotting on and scheming on, but that's typical for us, where you always be plotting and scheming, and big things always be coming. I mean, this year we started this podcast, something I didn't think I would do, but here we are. And how fulfilling I think this is amazing. I get to speak to some of the most creative people in the scene and really meet them at their level and hear about their projects and hear about what they have going on and talk to them about their journey in music. And it's been really, really fulfilling for me. You know, starting this podcast too has been a big part of this past year. And to know that there's people out there that value this and listen to it every week and are always sure to tune in to hear these interviews, you know, it means a lot. And while I'm talking about supporters, these past 3 years would not be possible without the currently 950 of you that follow us on Instagram. I think there's like 20 of you guys, 25 of you guys on YouTube that subscribe and watch our videos and watch our interviews. All of you guys out there that are subscribed to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the people out there that are streaming our artists' music, can't thank you enough. And truthfully, without you guys, I can't do what I do. All the artists need fans. I like to think that I'm just a fan, but I'm also working behind the scenes. You guys really make my job easier. So thank you, everyone out there, for supporting Jenny, supporting Motus, supporting Tina, supporting Kenny, supporting Monarch. Thank you for supporting the podcast. It's really, really appreciated. Again, 3 years. 3 years is a long time. I want to also thank everyone who's helped me along the way, the people that I can turn to when I don't know an answer or I need guidance. For me, one of those people is Julie Sherry. These past couple months, we've been having conversations and talking to each other about running a label, and that's been super helpful. I want to thank one of my close friends, Ricky Fleming. He's just a business guy, but anytime I can call him and talk to him, and I'll tell him a crazy idea that I have, and he has never once told me, "Nah, dude, don't do that," or "Nah, that's stupid. Like, you shouldn't do that." He's always just been, "Dude, that's really fucking cool." It helps when you have a friend like that that can support you like that. Obviously, I'm going to thank my girlfriend because I run around fucking from Bloomington to Champaign to Chicago to a random weekend in Milwaukee or in St. Louis. She's one of the most understanding people in the world, and she gets me. You know, I don't know who's still here. I don't know who's still listening to this episode. But what I want to say is that there's not a whole lot of people out there that are willing to just do something because they want to try it. That's all this was. this label when I first started was something that I wanted to try. I could have stopped after a month. I could have stopped after the first year, but I'm still going. And if I didn't try, if I didn't just say fuck it, I'm gonna let it rip. I'm gonna do my best, and every day I'm gonna try to get better. I don't know where I'd be right now. I know I wouldn't know a lick about some of the coolest music coming out of the US right now. I wouldn't know about one of the best scenes in music right now with the most talent, and I'm going to stand by that. I'll stand 10 toes on that. I wouldn't get to interact with some amazing people and meet people like Bridget Lance and Austin Corley and Gus Linares and all these people that are involved in these music scenes. And all it took was for me to say, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. So if I can leave you with one thing, is if you're passionate about something, if you have an interest in something, you should take the shot. You should give it a whirl, because you don't know what can happen, and you don't know where you're going to be 3 years later. And there's just not enough of that right now. There's not enough of that in our creative communities. There's not enough people that are willing to take risks to try cool things. One thing about me is I'm going to keep trying things. I'm already working on stuff for this next year of Broken Record Music Club, and I'm so excited. I work a day job, but this is the stuff that I think about all day, every day. And one day, this is going to be my job. I know it. 3 years seems like it's crazy, but the fact of the matter is that 3 years ago, Broken Record Music Club was just me in an apartment in Las Vegas with an iPad, and I wanted to do album artwork. And now we're here sitting as a label with lots of talent, lots of cool releases, and a bright future ahead is what I see. Thank you again for being here for this journey and continuing to follow us and support us on as we continue to grow. If you're here from day one when we started this, and you're listening to the podcast by chance, you should seriously DM me and tell me, because I'm very interested to see that. But also, maybe we'll get you some swag. It's been a long 3 years, and I'm so excited to keep going. There's so much more to do. There's so much more to try to strive for, and I'm here for all of it. So I guess I'll wrap up. But you've been listening to Clubhouse Chronicles, where the sounds are hot, the stories are hotter, and the vibes, they're always off the charts. Today they're a little down. Today is not like a episode. It's more of a let's just kind of vibe. Let's just shoot the shit. Let's get real for a bit. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. We always appreciate it. While you're here, hit subscribe, like the video. Really helps us as a channel, helps us get this podcast out to more people so that we can share this music scene that we love and get more eyes on these artists. So if you could do that, that'd be great. You can also follow us at Club Chron Pod on Instagram to keep up with this podcast and more. If you're looking to follow the label, we're at Broken Record Music Club across all platforms. So just look us up, give us a follow. You'll get all your good shit there. But until next time, keep it loud, keep it proud, and remember, Central Illinois is where the music magic happens. Peace. Happy anniversary, Broken Record Music Club.